So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to talk about the new Nezha Warframe that's been added with update 18.1. And this frame can be described with one word, and the word is unfortunately just meh. You know, the stats are kind of meh, the abilities are kind of meh, and the Warframe in general is kind of meh. The stats are kind of weird as well, because you have very little health and decent armor, but the armor doesn't do anything if you don't have enough health, and you have very little shields, so you're incredibly squishy on this frame. And if you don't have Iron Skin or whatever it's called, Warding Halo, you're gonna die. A lot. This is probably the worst frame you can take against the Stalker. Now, the abilities are really kind of meh. I mean, Firewalker, for instance, sounds really cool. You will burn the very ground you walk on. You will leave a fire trail behind you. That sounds really cool. In theory, but in practice, it's pretty much just this. Is there a better word to describe this other than just, well, meh? Now, the second ability, Blazing Chakram, is probably the weirdest ability in Warframe. It does three things, and two of those three things are so inconvenient they're pretty much useless, and you will almost never use the chakram for those two things. Thing number one, dealing damage. You are throwing a very slow projectile towards enemies that constantly move, so good luck hitting anything with it. And thing number two is healing, because when you hit enemies with the chakram, they'll become marked, and when they die, they will burst into healing. But since it's really hard to hit anything with it, good luck pulling that off. And the third part of this ability is the only useful one. When you reactivate the ability while you have a chakram in midair, you will teleport to the chakram. Now, there's also a very nice synergy with Firewalker, because when you teleport to the chakram, when you have Firewalker active, you will explode, dealing damage to enemies around you, which is very nice. And when you combine this with the above average movement speed of 1.15 and the tankiness you get from the next ability, you have a pretty tanky speedrunner. The third ability, Warding Halo, is pretty much just a weaker version of Iron Skin that does a little bit of damage when enemies get too close to you. Now, the only reason I can think of why this ability has to do damage up close is because, well, if you take that away, it's just Iron Skin. And, you know, you have a Warframe that's really squishy and has to rely on this buff to survive, and then you put in a mechanic that encourages you to stand in the enemy's face so it's easier for them to remove your buff and kill you. You know, this is so weird, and the damage it does isn't very good either. In this clip I was running Intensify, Transient Fortitude and Blind Rage, and the damage was kind of pants. And the fourth ability, Divine Spears, is kind of like Rhino Stomp with a longer cast time, and you have to press the button twice. That's pretty much what it is. Now, I'm not saying that Nezha isn't fun. I had fun while I was ranking him up, but here's the thing. The way I mod frames is I will slap a potato on them, and as I'm going up to 30 for the first time, I will start modding towards the things I like about the Warframe. And about halfway through, around rank 15, I've realized that I'm just building another Rhino. But instead of using Vitality and Redirection, I'm using Quick Thinking and Primed Flow. Now, the problem with this is that Rhino will always be better at being Rhino than Nezha. It does give you choice, which is nice. If you like the way Rhino plays and you're sick of Rhino, you can play Nezha because it's pretty much Rhino with a little bit of Ember on the side. Now, on to the biggest issue that I have with this Warframe, and that is the method of acquisition. Who thought it would be a good idea to put this frame as a reward from sortie missions? Now, I guess this was supposed to make people who don't want to do the sortie missions but want the frame do the sortie missions. But I think it did something else, where people who don't want to do the sortie missions and want the frame will buy it with platinum. They will either trade with other people or they will buy it from the shop, like me. And from what I've read on the website, Nezha isn't a exclusive Season 2 reward. So it'll be in Season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so on and so on. So people who like doing sortie missions and maybe either don't want the frame or already have it will keep getting it. And it's not like it's an amazing frame that people buy for thousands of platinum. So this is only good for people who like doing sortie missions and want the frame. But if you like doing sortie missions and either don't want the frame or you already have it, it's annoying. And if you don't want to do sortie missions and you want the frame, it's annoying as well. So what's the reasoning behind this? I don't quite understand. But anyway, I've been rambling for long enough. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.